Hello, this is Mary Jo Morgan and from Fred's Used Websites, and right now we are going to go over adding a new featured chamber investor with the widget process. I'm going to suggest that each month, as you interview this person who will be featured as the monthly investor on the front page of the chamber website, you prepare a document ahead of time. And right here you can see that I've just grabbed some lorem ipsum text. That's just dummy text, so you can see what it would look like. You need a short paragraph for the abstract. The widget abstract we have prepared for you, and all you need to do is fill in the appropriate spaces. And then the full-length document, which has as much as you want to tell about this investor that you're honoring on any particular month. Have that ready and open on your screen. It will make this process much easier. I'm on the home page now. I'm logged in. As you can see, Jeff Coleman happens to be this featured monthly investor. This widget here is populated from the page we're going to create and fill in right now. So you'll notice if at the bottom here it says read more. If you go to read more, this is that whole page that I was talking about. Okay? Let's start back at the home page. And when you want to start a new page for a new featured monthly investor, you're going to use the drop-down menu from the chamber and navigate directly to the featured chamber investors page right there. At the top of this page, you'll notice there is a green plus mark for add entry. If you scroll down the page, you'll notice that this page holds all of the featured monthly investors all the way down to, I think, Dell. There he goes. So you'll know you're on the right page. Click on that green plus sign. And if you follow this widget straight down, it'll come out perfectly. Don't skip anything, don't assume anything, just follow the widget. So we're going to start with the name, and as with all of in the editors, if you put your cursor over that question mark with the blue background, you get an explanation of what needs to go in this space. On this widget, you will see asterisks. Whenever you see asterisks, you're going to have to replace the asterisks and an appropriate fill-in between the asterisks. So right away, I'm going to highlight month and the 4-digit YYY, and I'm going to use June 2013 as my page name. Notice there are no spaces in that. Here on the investor name, company name, there is a comma and a space between investor name and company name. Creation date will assume that I'm creating this on June the 1st of 2013. And as soon as you click, I'm happen to be using the date with slashes in between the numbers. As soon as you click on any other line, it will fill in the whole date in the word and numeric form. The page or group, we here are actually creating a page. It defaults to featured investors. That's exactly what you want. Leave it there. The order defaults to insert at the beginning, and that's exactly right. Leave it there. When it defaults to that insert at the beginning, the monthly featured investor who is at the top of the list, that top of the list investor is the one that populates the widget on the home page. So it is important when you're creating a new one that you leave it there to insert at the beginning. You can change order later if you need to, and you can see all of these names in the drop-down list, but to begin with, you insert it at the beginning. optional PDF or URL. It has not been the convention to use that thus far. In the future, you may choose to, but right now we'll leave that optional PDF or URL blank. Here on optional image, it truly is optional. If you don't have an image of the investor, you can create this page without it. You want to generally ask them for an image that's about 253 pixels wide. You won't always get that. If they give you something larger than that, it's okay because the widget automatically resizes it and it will place the image in the appropriate place, so you don't have to worry about that. Click on the upload. You'll have a window open that asks you to choose a file. Go ahead and choose a file. And when it's uploading, you'll see down here this little green bar. To show you that it's uploading, I purposely chose an image that is, I think, 1,000 pixels wide so that you can see this green bar. It's okay if it's a large photograph because right now it's going to upload it and resize it. It takes a few seconds if it's something this big, but at least you know that you don't have to mess around with editing the photograph ahead of time. It's just going to take longer the larger the photo is. Almost finished now. There we go. It shows immediately in the preview page as soon as the photo is uploaded. For this abstract section here, you're going to have to change what's in between the asterisks. Make sure that you leave that space after the asterisk and the dash. So the month we're going to have June 2013. There's a space, a dash, a space, and featured monthly investor. Please leave it that way. That's the convention that we've been following. And you want to go to that text that you had prepared for this abstract, that short paragraph, and I am going to replace it and the asterisks. And I'm just doing a copy paste or a Control C to copy it and a Control V as in Victor to drop it in there. This abstract widget we've tried to make really easy. Notice that there is formatting on the font and you don't need to worry about that because we have it automatically set. You'll notice here on the second line on that widget abstract, it asks you to include a link to the Chamber Master investor page, and we're going to do that in just a second. First, you want to put in the company name. And now you want to go to use Chamber Business Directory. And I happen to have chosen Fred's Used Websites here, just for demonstration purposes. We wanted to navigate to the Chamber Master directory page so that users will visit more of the site. So you want to highlight that business name. Notice that we are going to be using the editor that is beneath the body of copy. Always beneath the body of copy in the editable portion. I clicked on that link. I'm just going to do a Control V and drop that link in there. Do not succumb to this temptation ever of transcribing a URL. Always copy paste it. I always give a title to that link that I put in so that if someone just runs their cursor over it, they can see what that is. Now here where you see all the asterisks, this is where you just take out the asterisks and fill in the appropriate information. So the month is June. I'm going to put the investor's full name here, being very careful not to take away the period at the end of the sentence. Make sure you have the period after you put that name in and you have the space after the period before the word you. Now you're going to take out the asterisks and the inappropriate pronoun. So I'm going to let him stay and I'm going to take out the slash, her, and those asterisks. You're going to do that twice. leaving just the appropriate pronoun. Take a look at it, make sure that there's only one space between each word. On the document area, we're going to put the person's name in here, and again we're going to be careful to take out only the asterisks and leave the space after it. So we're going to put in the month and the year. We have a space, a dash, and a space, and that happens to be the paradigm that we've been using here, so we want to follow it. You want to go now to your main document. This first paragraph is probably what you used for the abstract, and then you want to make sure you just grab all of that text, telling as much about that person and that person's community involvement as you want to. I'm going to show you here, it's an opportunity. If that person is involved in the community, this person happens to be involved with Boys and Girls Clubs of Larimer County, you want to highlight that organization name. And to put a link in, of course, you're going to go to a different tab that you already have open. Grab that URL. Come back here and do a Control-V. When this Insert Edit Link box opens, the cursor is in exactly the right place to just do a Control-V and drop it in there. Always put a title on it. And now that's a live link that I've titled. You can see there it's Boys and Girls Clubs of Larimer County. Okay. Make sure that you click Submit. And now you see that we have a new featured monthly investor at the top of the list, right above Jeff Coleman. The red screen indicates that this has not been enabled. So you could get ahead of yourself and put several up here. If they're not enabled, the top person beneath the red screened or disabled featured monthly investors, the top person will show. So that would be Jeff because he's at the top of this list. To enable this new one that I've just created, all you do is click Enable. Now if I go back to the home page, and I'll simply navigate there by clicking on the home page. There it is, the widget on the home page, and it's populated now by the top entry, and that was the one about Fred. You can navigate back to that page, and since I'm still in edit mode, I could disable it because I don't want it to show yet. There really isn't a reason to delete it. You can just leave it there. Or if I want, and now if I went back to the home page, you'll see that it's back to Jeff again because he is the one at the beginning of the list, at the top of the list. And that's how you add a new featured monthly investor.